we got one final thing that we're going to kind of go over today a little bit here. And it's something really small. There's not a lot more information, but as we get more information, we're going to cover it and go over it here. But I thought it was quite fascinating because very curious to see how this goes out here. If we take a look here, the Apple Vision Pro, people have been starting to do some benchmark testing, comparing them to other virtual headsets. And again, I'm very curious to see how this is going to go in the future, with more tests and more benchmarks that these companies, that these individuals, that these people are doing, to kind of see like how it does, right? I'm very, very curious about it. So this is somebody did a comparison here of the photon to photon latency, right, in milliseconds. And if you take a look, the HTC Vive XR Elite with a little over 40, MetaQuest 3 with almost 40, MetaQuest Pro with probably about 37, 38, I would say, is up there. The Apple Vision Pro with about 11 millisecond delay. So that is a lot better. I mean, the Apple Vision Pro is, I mean, compared to the MetaQuest Pro, MetaQuest 3, and the HTC Vive XR Elite, that name is, holy God, that's long. You're talking, I mean, it's almost a quarter. It's literally a quarter of the latency of these other headsets for photon to photon latency. So that is pretty bizarre, right? That is pretty bizarre, pretty wild. I would say. So photon to photon latency is this. Head-mounted displays of photon to photon latency describes the time it takes for the image to be transferred through the headset to the user's vision. So again, it's basically the camera on the front, right? So the delay between the camera on the front, because the way that these headsets work is a camera rather than like see-through, pass-through. It's a camera on the front, and the latency between the camera on the front to where like when it gets seen to your eyes, right? When measuring the latency, we calculate the time difference between the lit of the light and the sense of that light on the location of the perceiver. Okay, and then how they perform the testing, right? They did a couple different things, right? They had testers and stuff. I'm not gonna, really break it down. It's just like really, advanced stuff here. But the most important image is definitely this bad boy right here, with the Apple Vision Pro being way faster than everything else. I mean, way faster than everything else. I mean, it's literally it's what, three, 4 times faster than anything else. So wild. And Apple did claim this, right? Because Apple did claim that their groundbreaking reduction of see-through latency, they did talk about it, and people were probably a little bit skeptical about it, but came out, and it was true. It was actually true that they did get some groundbreaking technology with that. So major props to Apple for that. But again, the reason why I bring this up is because I'm very curious to see how this is going to go in the future with more people doing these benchmarks, right? There's going to be a lot of benchmarks that people are going to be doing, and then you'll eventually be able to go compare this to these other headsets. And I mean, you have like finite details. So I'm very, very fascinated to see how this is going to work in the future here. I'm very, very curious. It's going to be cool to see, right? Because then you can really see like where headsets compared to the others, right? Where they sit on the ladder of ranking. So very curious, very curious. They're Mark Zuckerberg. But I do have a feeling that based on this headset right here, the next VR headset from Meta, from Mark Zuckerberg, I think has the potential to be absolutely insane. I mean, nuts. So we'll see. But I will say, comparing this headset to the MetaQuest 3, at least, this headset looks way better. The visually, like the outside cosmetic, looks way better than the MetaQuest 3. The MetaQuest 3 looks really weird, like some kind of cyborg off of Cyberpunk or something. But anyways, figured I'd throw that out there just for some random information for you.